The vicious, the volatile Randy Orton on WWE SmackDown tonight was one for the ages. It was almost like 2009 Randy Orton all over again. And it was almost like Randy Orton was going back and forth. The voices were talking to him to be a good guy, to be a bad guy, to be satisfying, to be crowd pleasing, but to be a hellraiser, to be an RKO master, or to make blood and bludgeoned. Which direction was it going to be? Where were you going to go? Randy Orton went absolutely insane. The Apex Predator is back like we have never seen him before, and I want your review of tonight's SmackDown. What to you stood out? What to you was the moment? What struck you? What was the match of the night? What was the moment of the night? The foundation of this very show. On a night where we got two heel turns. On a night where we saw Randy Orton go to that place in his career that we always knew he could be this Randy Orton. That Randy Orton could go to levels and lengths that we knew he was capable of. And Randy Orton had that promo tonight. He had that killer instinct tonight. And then Randy Orton, you really thought he was going to come out and apologize and say sorry to Matt Cardona after what he did to Cardona earlier tonight. And then what about the interaction between Jelly Bean, or should I say Jelly Roll, and Randy Orton backstage? We all thought that Jelly Roll talked some sense into Randy Orton, but oh no. Randy Orton went to that place in his career. Randy Orton went volatile. Randy Orton went apex crazy tonight, as only the Viper can. And viewers, this show is all about you. Remember, if you're a WWE fan, I want your review. If you're hearing this, if you're seeing this, what stood out to you? What struck you? What was the moment of the night, the match of the night, the highlight of the night, the superstar of the night, the storyline of the night? Remember, without you, there is no show in view. We give you the most profound, the most proficient, the most prolific. And on a night where we saw the Bella Twins go after the tag team titles, on a night where we seen Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre beat the holy hell out of each other throughout the entire night. This match was originally supposed to take place on SmackDown tonight. It was supposed to be one-on-one Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, but as we saw, we got a match, but we got a match thread throughout the show. Now, this is what I liked what the WWE did tonight. Again, this is about your review, though. What did you rate SmackDown? Was it hot? Was it sunny? Was it a scorcher? Was it cold? Was it frigid? Was it dull? Was it boring? Was it entertaining? What are your thoughts, your comments, your opinions on the blue brand of SmackDown tonight? Because what we got was satisfying. What we got was emotion. What we got was passion. What we got was a creative team that actually seemed like they were creative tonight for the WWE. And for the WWE on the road to WrestleMania, that has been kind of lackadaisical, has been kind of dull and kind of uninteresting. Over the last couple of weeks, the WWE has amped it up. The WWE has got big, and the WWE went all out tonight on SmackDown, just like they did on Monday Night Raw. And the WWE absolutely scored this week. I got to give it to World Wrestling Entertainment. They really hit it out of the ballpark tonight, in my estimation. But again, it's not about me. It's about you. Without you, there is no show. And remember to donate below with a super thanks donation. Remember, on a night where Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, it was a slobber knocker, okay, as JR would say. It was a barn burner. And then they destroyed the two of them took each other out. Both of these superstars, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, took each other out earlier tonight. And then they really took themselves out. 15 feet fall, 20-foot fall, whatever that was. They were outside, and then both of them fell off. Both of them fell down. I mean, it was complete bedlam. It was complete wreckage. It was just absolutely annihilation on SmackDown tonight. The blue brand on the USA Network, on a night where, Kit Wilson is really coming into his own. I got to give it to Kit Wilson. He really is coming into his own. That segment, Jelly Roll, really was admirable. And I think the WWE are going to do things with Kit Wilson in, and I'll tell you what, man, the magnitude, the feeling, the aura, it was like a night of reckoning tonight on SmackDown. And on a night where we saw Randy Orton not once. Now, this is something I like the WWE did tonight. The WWE actually threaded Randy Orton. We didn't just see him once. You know how you see Brock Lesnar once during the show, and that's it. You'll never see Lesnar throughout the entire show. They actually put Orton, towards like the second hour, and then we saw Randy Orton again in the third hour. Now, I liked the pacing. I liked how they did that. I like how we saw Orton throughout the show. We didn't just see him one time, and then that was the end of it. We saw Orton throughout the night, and I like that booking. And, that goes back, and I know a lot of you don't like Vince Russo, but that's what Russo's credible booking came to. You can say what you want about Russo, but in the Attitude Era, nobody wrote better angles and better storytelling than Vince Russo, and they used a little bit of Vince Russo's aura tonight by having Randy Orton show up not once but multiple times, in the ring and backstage. So credit to the WWE and the creative team and the powers that be for really, amping it up and giving us that kind of SmackDown that we deserve, the kind of SmackDown that we needed, the kind of SmackDown that should have always been like this. There should never be a lull. There should never be a dull. The WWE should always have their finger on the pulse. The WWE should always have the pedal to the metal. And tonight they definitely had the pedal to the metal. And viewers, fans, subscribers, it all boils down to you, though. What stuck, and what about Jelly Roll and Randy Orton backstage? And everyone thought, oh, Jelly Roll, he really talked Randy Orton to this one. He made Randy Orton realize. He made Randy Orton see the light. He made the Viper Randy Orton see the light. And we thought Randy Orton was going to come out at the end and he was going to say sorry. And you didn't think for 1 second that Randy Orton was going to turn good. And, I got to like the way Randy Orton played this up. I got to like the way that Randy Orton played this up. He came out. He was hugging the kids. He was high-fiving the kids. He was slapping the hands. And Randy Orton looked like he was a good guy. It looked like he was a babyface. But Randy Orton, there's a lot of, I like this angle. I like the predicament. I like the storyline they're playing with Orton here because he's with his emotions. We are seeing a very conflicted Randy Orton. Now, as far as his in-ring promo about why he did what he did and why he attacked Cody Rhodes and why he took out Cody Rhodes, I think that was a little bit lackluster. I think that could have been a little bit better, to be honest with you. I think that could have been a little bit better. I think that could have been done a little bit stronger in my estimation. How he turned on Cody Rhodes. He said, yeah, the voices were telling me to do it. I just wish there was a little bit more oomph. I wish there was a little bit more behind what Randy Orton did during that segment when he was in the middle of the ring with the chair in the middle of the ring. I just wish there would have been a little bit more to that. But again, we can nitpick. We can pick apart this. We can pick apart that. Again, we're not going to get Attitude Era kind of television. We're not going to get Ruthless Aggression Era kind of television. And I get that and I understand that. But boy, the SmackDown highlights, the SmackDown review, SeanzViewEnt has it for each and every one of you because it is all about you guys. Every single one of you matter. And that is why we need your review in the comment section below. And on a night where from start to finish, I got to say from start to finish, if I'm grading this, if I'm rating this, if I'm putting this a grade level, you could give it an A to an F. You could give it a 1 to a 10. You could give it a good, happy, bad, sad. The WWE tonight took us on a ride. The WWE literally left us on the edge of our seats. And the WWE did all the right things. They had all the intangibles to make this a SmackDown. And I haven't said this in a long time. This is not something I say frequently or a lot. It's a rare thing when I say something like this. But ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those SmackDowns that I could have went back and I could replay it and I could watch it again and again and again. And that's the thing about the WWE. Back in the Attitude Era, back in the Ruthless Aggression Era, hell, even back during the Hogan Era. You could tape it with your, I know a lot of you may not know this term, VHS videotape. You could record it on your VCR. You could record it on your DVD years later. You could record it on your Blu-ray years later, and then you could rewatch it back. And this is, again, one of those SmackDowns that I could go back and watch it again on a night where Randy Orton snapped again. Yes, Randy Orton went wild. Randy Orton went to that place in his career that, again, Randy Orton was the only one that seemed like he didn't know he could see it. But again, Randy Orton was also on the phone. Randy Orton was backstage on his cell phone again. And again, it begs the question, who was he talking to? Who was on the other line? What was happening? What was going down? Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions here on The Brash and the Briz. We give you the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive, and the most defiant. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. I am Sean View, and I look forward to your comments and your opinions and your expressions, your SmackDown review, because it's not just about me. It's not just about what I'm saying. It's about what you're putting out there. And what did you think about the Bella Twins in action? And what do you think about Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss and the tag team division? And what about, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's all but confirmed at WrestleMania. We are going to get a multi-women's match for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, and then it looks like we're going to also get a match where it's going to feature Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. You would have to assume at WrestleMania in some sort of gimmick match, you would have to assume. Now, after everything that Randy Orton has done, after everything that Randy Orton has escalated, after everything that Randy Orton has dominated, again, the fans are still loving him. The fans are still cheering him. The fans are not booing Randy Orton. It seems like the more venomous, the more vicious, the more violent, the more vital Randy Orton gets, the more the people love it, the more the people appreciate it. They are ready for Randy Orton to go on this one more run as the undisputed WWE champion. But is the WWE going to pull the trigger? Is the WWE going to go all the way? And are they going to sacrifice, or are they going to sabotage it? Or is the WWE going to do what's right for the WWE fans? And again, the WWE realizes that the fans, they're going to cheer Randy Orton. They're going to be behind Randy Orton. We all fully are aware that Cody Rhodes is the good guy. He is the babyface in this feud, but you wouldn't know it with the reaction and response that Randy Orton is getting, and even with the retaliation and everything that's going along with it. We heard that next week it will be Cody Rhodes in the ring with Randy Orton, and obviously Cody Rhodes was not there tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, your thoughts, your comments, your review of what we saw, what we got, and what we witnessed on the blue brand of SmackDown tonight. It was a SmackDown of epic proportions, a SmackDown that, again, your review, guys, it all boils down to each and every one of you. You guys are the foundation. You guys are the pulse. You guys are the blood, the sweat, the tears. Have no fear. The brash one is here for all of you. And on a night where you know what? Matt Cardona, hey, the light was on him tonight. He was in the main event. Matt Cardona closed out SmackDown. Say what you want about Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, whatever you want to call him, whatever alias you want to go by. The fact of the matter is that Matt Cardona headlined and main evented. He was the final thing that you saw tonight on SmackDown. And even though it ended up with him getting beat down and destroyed, and he almost ended up like Cody Rhodes, although he kind of ended up like Cody Rhodes because it looked like he got a snapped arm, a broken arm with that steel chair. Matt Cardona was still in the main event. He finally made it. Matt Cardona was in the final segment of the Blue Branded SmackDown on the USA Network, but it was at the expense of Randy Orton going absolutely nuts and volatile. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a hell of a situation on our hands, but the situation comes down to you. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions. Your review of the Blue Brand of SmackDown tonight. Is the WWE on the right track? It took a little bit longer than anticipated. You know, usually the whole like 2-3 months is like epic television for WWE, but it would appear as if only over the last couple of weeks has the WWE really amped it up, has the WWE really kicked it up, has the WWE really turned it into another gear here, in my estimation. Again, viewers, it all boils down to what you want to hear, what you want to see, and your reviews. And if you want more reviews like this, I did a Raw review on Monday. Please go check it out. We're going to try to get these videos going. We're trying to get them out there. And SeanzViewEnt really benefits from the viewers, the fans, the subscribers, the dividers, the detractors, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to throw out there. SeanzViewEnt will always make you feel some sort of way because I am brash and I am brazen. And we will always, kind of like Randy Orton, they say that there's a line. Well, the line was crossed. Well, SeanzViewEnt is going to cross that damn line just as well because nobody can bring you the kind of heart, passion, the kind of integrity, the kind of talk, the kind of mic power that I have right here and the kind of expressions that I bring to you right here on Sean's View Entertainment. And also, viewers, we're going to get an update on the status and the well-being following their major crash to the ground of Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre on a day where Ted DiBiase Jr. was found not guilty on all federal charges. Again, a lot of rumor, a lot of speculation that Ted DiBiase could once again come back to the WWE. Also, what did you think about Rhea Ripley being destroyed by Jade Cargill's new stable? Now, that didn't make sense. I do not understand what is going on here. Can someone tell me what's going on? Rhea Ripley destroyed by Jade Cargill and her new stable. Mitchin, really, after all the bad blood, after all the heat, they just, that segment made no sense to me at all. But hey, if it gets more faces on WrestleMania, I guess that's fine and well. Also, WWE slapped Tama Tonga with a heavy fine for posting rehearsal footage. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tama Tonga in a hell of a lot of trouble with the WWE right here and right now. And again, if I had to be a detractor, if I had to be a skeptic, if I had to be a negative Nancy over here, I would say that segment with Rhea Ripley, listen, everything was fine with Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill in the ring. The in-ring promo, the mic work, it was all right. It was okay. But again, it just didn't make sense what Mitchin did in her partner. And now you got the three of them against Rhea Ripley. It's like a 3-on-1 assault. It's like a 3-on-1 attack. So how is Rhea Ripley going to counter that? Again, I guess that's what we're going to have to figure out. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, your emotions. Again, without you, there is no Sean View. Subscribe for more reviews of Raw and SmackDown, along with everyday WWE news, rumors, headlines, and gossip. Subscribe.